Influence of French culture in Texas. Texas influence. The colors of the Texas flag and the France flag are not the only thing that they both have in common. And here is why. This is how it all started. The first Frenchman on Texas soil was explorer René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle. He left France to start a colony on the Mississippi River, but he ended up on the Texas coast at Matagorda Bay in 1685. Henry Castro was the most successful colonizer. By 1847, he had settled 485 families and 457 single men on a land grant along the Medina River that became the towns of Castroville, Kauai, Vandenberg, and D'Hanis. Life in Castroville. Life in Castroville influenced many Texan ranchers and farmers, and vice versa. The Frenchmen used many of the same kind of equipment that their Anglo-American neighbors used. For example, they would use spurs, use American-made bridled for their horses, and wear cowboy boots. French culture. French culture is associated with life in the city of love, otherwise known as Paris. Fashion, art, architecture, and food are some of the pieces of culture in France. Here are some photos of some beautiful architecture that is used in France. Some cuisines that first started out in France and made their way to America are crepes and macarons. Following the desserts is a traditional dinner item. Now here are just some photos of what French culture looks like. The French are really big on Paris Fashion Week and also on poetry. Cultural issues. In France, food is sacred to the community. French people do not eat in between meals, and it is not just something to eat when hungry, but something to share with one another. Political and social issues include unemployment, increase in poverty, terrorist attack, and environmental climate change. These political, social, and cultural issues have brought the French community together as a whole. Despite their backgrounds, their past, and their financial statuses, the community has worked together to overcome the hardships. As a result, these issues have represented their art and literature of creating astonishing pieces of work. Similar architecture is seen in France and in Texas, along with cuisine, dishes, and art pieces. On the left of the screen is a picture of a French cathedral versus on the right with a Texas cathedral. As I mentioned earlier, crepes moved into the American culture, which later moved into the Texan culture. On the left, you see a picture of a French crepe, while on the right, you see a picture of a Texan crepe. The Texan and French cultures are quite similar, and many other countries have been a part of this culture. Without the little bits of French culture, Texas would not be complete. Culture is a unique value that creates similarity between people and what brings society together as a whole.